was in a car accident and the airbags in my car didn't deploy. Do I have a case against the car manufacturer?
You may. Um, One of the interesting things about airbags, though, is that they're oftentimes designed not to deploy in situations where you'd think that they would be. I'm, for example, surprised by how seldom it is that we see airbags deploy in rear enders. And I've had all kinds of people explain to me that I should not be so surprised. You know, airbags themselves present a lot of problems, particularly in minor crashes. Again, they're great for keeping people from getting killed. They're great for keeping people in vehicles, off of windshields, things like that. But they also quite literally punch people in the face. And they quite literally cause their own series of injuries whenever they deploy. Every single one of my airbag cases, I think my client has come in with some amount of burn on their face, and that's from the airbag. So they are designed sometimes not to deploy. The bigger problem, though, with the airbag cases, and I always remember before I went out on my own, I worked at a firm in Boston that actually used to sue airbag companies. And this was actually before airbags were in every vehicle. And in fact, that was some of the lawsuits that they would bring, that the car was defective because it didn't have an airbag. But there were also cases against the airbag manufacturers themselves. And one of the things that you do have to keep in mind is that these can be brutally expensive cases to bring. You have to hire all kinds of experts and things like that. So if it's not a very serious injury, you are unlikely to be wanting to bring an airbag case just because it's going to cost more to litigate than to bring. Unless, by the way, it's that Takedo situation where all their airbags were recalled because they were defective. Now that's a different situation, not in terms of deployment, but in terms of the injuries caused by the airbag itself. But that's a situation where all the heavy lifting's been done. It's established that these airbags were defective, and so there you wouldn't have the heavy expense associated with bringing a lawsuit.